Hello everyone. Here's my screen recording challenge. The idea is to choose a tool that you've either used already or that you would like to adapt for remote learning for your students. And the tool that I have chosen to demonstrate this afternoon in 4 minutes, hopefully or less, is called Sway. The reason why I like it is that it is easily accessible to anyone who has a Conestoga account. If you go into your Outlook 365, you'll see your mailbox, you'll see OneDrive, you'll also see an icon called Sway. So if you just click on Sway, you'll come to this page, and you can create something that's a little bit like a PowerPoint, but more adaptable. It's almost like a cross between a PowerPoint and a blog. So if you click on this more templates, you can find a template for a presentation. So if you want to start with something that's already set up for you, you could use this. So all you have to do is click on Start Editing This Way, and you can replace all these pictures and these titles. Let me go through a few and create your own material using your own pictures and your own text. So it's a way of creating a piece of learning resource which is visually very interesting, and it's all set up for you. Now I would like to go back though and show you that you can, with a little bit more work, for the first time especially as you get used to it, you can learn to make your own from scratch. And that is, you would click on that icon right there to start your own, but I'm going to show you one of mine. And the one I would like to show you, if I can find it, is Innovation in the 21st Century. Now, I originally created this for an in-class workshop. So what I want to do is I want to show you what some of the features are, and just a little discussion of how you could adapt this for an asynchronous environment. So you can see that what it looks like in the background of the presentation is a series of cards. And so you have a big title card here. You can have an image card to go with the title. And then you've got heading cards. And for each heading card, then you've got, here's a video card. So I've actually created a video link. There are, after some heading cards, there's text cards where you put in your information. And you can also link image cards under those heading cards. What does all that look like? Well, you have some options about the colors and the font and all of those kinds of things, and that's how you would get to that if you were to click on design. But I just want to show you what it looks like when you play it. So if you were to click share and send a link to students, this is what they could see when they opened it up. They would click play, and they would see the title and whatever picture that you had put in there. And my bridge in this presentation is actually a video. So I've embedded a video, and all the students have to do is click on it, and it'll show the video right within the Sway. And when they're done with the video, they can just keep moving. And so here I've got the outcomes of this workshop. And I've given them a little pre-test where I've asked them to define innovation. Now I've given them a way to do it, which is very much an in-class method. So I would have to perhaps just ask them to reflect on it and then move on to the next piece of information. So this participatory learning is something that I have created very much for in-class. So I would either need to remove this or to change its nature so that it would be easier for students to do. The presentation consists once again of a video. So they click on this video, they watch, and then they move on to, actually in this case, a Mentimeter. A Mentimeter you would only want to use if you were, for example, if you were doing this as a Zoom, which is synchronous. If it's asynchronous, then I think Mentimeter won't work. So you're either going to have to move this out, or you're going to have to think of something else. It's perfectly acceptable to have a shorter Sway that consists of information such as videos and fewer tasks, so that the tasks might be something that they could do after they've watched this, watched the Sway. But I do want to show you one task that I put in here that the students, you could leave it in here because the students could do it asynchronously. So there are 2 steps. First, there is something they need to read about critical thinking, and I'm just going to show it to you. So there it is. They can read this, and then they can go back to the sway, and this is based on that list. How do you currently help your students develop critical thinking skills? Okay, click here, and what opens up is a Google Docs. So you actually created an opportunity for your students to participate using Google Docs whenever they open the sway and go through it. It does not have to be at the same time as the other students. And collectively, they would fill in these blanks in this Google Docs, and they could go back at a later date and read what their colleagues have written. Okay, so post-test, how would you define innovation now? This is something that you could actually send your students back to Conestoga and ask them to make a post in the discussion forum. So you can use this to have lots of input, your own text, links to videos, possibly asynchronous things like adding something to Google's Docs, and possibly send them at the end as a post-test or at the end of this presentation back into Conestoga where they can do some of the tasks you've set up for them. So I hope you've enjoyed this presentation of Sway. If you're curious and would like to actually go through this Sway workshop on your own, just send me an email and I will send you the link.